Hello, welcome to Cake Poultry Farm YouTube channel. My name is Gilbert Usime. In this video, we'll be sharing with you why some poultry farmers or those interested in poultry farming end up failing in their poultry business or in their poultry farming business. There are many reasons why some poultry farmers fail in their poultry business. In this video, we are going to share with you 3 main reasons why many or some poultry farmers fail in their poultry business. So let's get started. Number 1, lack of seriousness. Farming is like any other business which requires seriousness, commitment, passion. So in this area, many people enter into farming when they are not serious, when they don't have the commitment, when they don't have the passion, and at the end of the day, they end up making mistakes. Some people enter into farming, especially poultry farming, with much excitement, and at the end of the day, they make losses or make mistakes. Yet, these mistakes would have been avoided from the beginning. For example, some people start poultry farming and ignore important aspects at the farm, like supervision. If you are not supervising your farm, how will you know that your birds are healthy? How will you know that your birds are laying the right percentage of production, or they are giving you the best production? How will you know that your birds are eating on time? How will you know that your workers are available at your farm? How will you know that your eggs are collected on time? How will you know that your farm is clean? For example, I have got a full-time job, but I spare time and visit and reach at my farm to make sure that I supervise physically to see how works are going on. So if you are not available at your farm, or if you don't make a physical supervision at your farm, that will lead you to losses. And if you are available and present at your farm, that will mean that you are able to solve the problems that are at your farm. Many people start their poultry farming and they fail because they don't want to make a physical supervision, or they don't want to supervise their farm. So another thing that demonstrates lack of seriousness at your farm is giving your birds inadequate feeds. For example, these are layers, as you can see. If you don't give them good quality food, don't give them enough food, automatically they will not lay for you eggs. As you know, their main purpose is to lay eggs. So they must be given good food, enough food, such that they can be healthy and lay for you eggs. Because if they don't eat well, don't expect to collect eggs from them, because their main purpose is to eat food and lay for you eggs at the end of the day. So if you don't want to fail at your farm, you need to be serious with supervision, be available at your farm, be present at your farm. Another thing is you need to be serious with vaccination. Vaccinate your birds straight away from day one when you bring your birds. Every week, every month, make sure your birds are getting vaccinated. Another thing is make sure that there is cleanliness at your farm. Make sure your farm is clean, because through cleanliness we are fighting a lot of diseases, a lot of germs at our farm. Make sure there is biosecurity. In doing that is you are trying also to fight diseases that may be internally or externally at your farm. So be serious with those essential things at your farm. You'll be able to succeed in poultry farming. Do you want to know another reason why some people fail poultry farming, or say poultry farming is the hard business to deal with? Come with me, I'll tell you another reason why some people fail poultry farming and end up saying it is a hard business, such that you don't fail in your poultry farming business. Another thing that leads people to fail poultry business is lack of focus. Poultry business is a business that needs your attention, your presence, your time. If you are doing poultry farming, you need to be focused on it. Maybe you have multiple businesses, but make sure that you focus also on poultry farming if you are doing it as a business, because it's a business that you have to be patient with to get the results out of it. It's okay to have multiple businesses or multiple sources of income, but if poultry farming is part of your multiple businesses, make sure you give it a tight focus, because it's a daily income project or it's a daily income business. When you talk about layers, this means that you harvest money every day. So that calls for a focus on it and much time for it. Number 3, why people fail poultry business is poor planning. If you are starting a poultry business, make sure you first plan before you start, such that you don't fail. And when you are planning, there are things we consider. Number 1, talk about the structure. Do you have enough structure for your birds? What type of birds do you want to keep? Are they layers? Are they broilers? Do you have enough money to purchase the birds? Do you have enough money to buy the feeds for the birds you are purchasing or you want to keep? Do you have enough money to pay the workers? So how many workers are you going to use, depending on the number of birds that you are going to keep? Is water available at your farm? Is food stores or storage for your food available at your farm? Do you have storage for your eggs that you'll be collecting at your farm? Are the feeders there? Is everything in place? Talk about the gears, talk about the uniform for the workers, talk about the trays for collecting the eggs, talk about the drinkers that the birds will be feeding on. So all that is meant to be in planning before you start your poultry farm. And make sure that if the plan is done, then when you kick off your project or the poultry farming, trust me, you will be able to succeed and achieve the best in your poultry farming. For example, in poor planning, someone keeps 1,000 birds, and in a long run, before even these birds start to lay eggs, he runs short of money to buy for them food. What happens? He will sell them off, because remember, these birds are not eating, they are not growing, they will not even reach time for producing eggs. So meaning, this person, due to poor planning, will have to sell the birds, and at times cheaply, because they will be malnourished, they will have no weight because he didn't plan well. In other words, he was supposed to bring 500 birds instead of 1,000 birds. So make sure you plan well such that you don't run short of funds to fund your project before even it brings income out of it. Take an example, market. Is the market available? Yes, it is, but have you made a research about it? If you are keeping broilers, do you have the market for the meat? If you are keeping layers and they are producing eggs, is the market available? Have you made enough research about the market for the eggs that your birds will be producing? Because at the end of the day, they produce eggs, you will have to sell them. So make sure in the planning, market is also considered before you start the poultry farming regarding where you are located. So it's good to plan before you start any other business. And we talk about poultry farming. And remember, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Those are the 3 reasons why some people fail poultry farming or say poultry farming is a hard business to deal with. Number 1, lack of seriousness. Number 2, lack of focus. Number 3, poor planning. I hope this video has been so helpful. And if you are passionate about poultry farming, don't forget to like and subscribe for you not to miss any of our upcoming videos. Happy farming.